Alright, let's review how to clean your hearing aid. In front you can see we have 3 different styles of in-the-ear hearing aids. The full shell hearing aid, the half shell hearing aid, and a completely in the canal. For all 3 hearing aids, they are all cleaned the same. There are several tools that you can use. You have your wax guards or wax traps here, a cleaning brush, a vent cleaner, and a wax loop. Now when you take your hearing aid out of your ear, you want to do a visual inspection and check to see if there's any wax or debris on the outside of the hearing aid here. The best thing to do is to take a tissue and actually just wipe the hearing aid off. This will take any oils or wax or anything off the shell and help keep the shell of your hearing aid clean. On this end of the hearing aid, you can see there's a little white circle. That is where your wax trap is kept. The first thing you're going to want to do is take your cleaning brush and brush across it. This will get any of the wax or debris that's on the outside, but sometimes this becomes plugged with wax. What you're going to need to do is then replace it. You'll take out and open your cartridge of wax traps, take out a new post, and then you're going to replace the wax trap. You use the one end to insert and take the old wax trap out, simply pulling straight out. You then turn it around and you're going to place the new wax trap into the silver circle. This will effectively replace the wax trap or wax guard and prevent any wax from getting down further into the ear. The next thing you're going to want to do is turn the hearing aid over and look at where the microphones are. These are on the outside face of the hearing aid. You're going to again use that brush that you have to brush across those microphones. This will get any debris or wax from covering the microphone so that the hearing aid is able to pick up sound. The vent cleaning tool can be used to go through this hole that goes all the way through the hearing aid. You simply can push this through and get any wax or debris that's stuck in that hole. Oftentimes, if it's a bigger hole, you can use the loop tool to simply go down and scoop out any of the wax or debris. Once your hearing aid is cleaned, which should be done nearly every night, you want to make sure you open your battery door so that the hearing aid is off and store it in the dry aid kit or dehumidifier that you were given in order to make sure that the circuitry stays nice and fresh. We are going to review how to clean a behind-the-ear hearing aid. There are 2 styles of behind-the-ear hearing aid. A traditional style behind the ear with a custom-made mold that goes for the person's ear, or the receiver in the ear or open-fit hearing aid, which requires a small dome that goes on the end of the hearing aid. There are several cleaning tools that will be used: a wax brush, a wax loop, and some sort of wax trap. We're going to start with the traditional behind-the-ear hearing aid. For this type of hearing aid, you will actually not be needing the wax traps and are just going to be using the wax brush and wax loop. The first thing you're going to do when you take the hearing aid out is, of course, open your battery door so that the hearing aid does not whistle or squeal at you. The next thing you're going to do is look at your ear mold. This is the part that goes in your ear and can accumulate wax. At the end of every ear mold there is an opening. That is where your sound comes out, and that is the part that can actually accumulate wax. If you notice that there is wax down and in there, you're going to take the wax loop and insert it into the end of the ear mold and simply scoop the wax out. This can be done several times, and the loop can go all the way into the ear mold itself. The next thing you're going to look at is the tubing that runs from the ear mold to the hearing aid. This tubing should be extremely bendable and flexible and should have no moisture or water in the tube. If you notice that your tubing has become stiff and very hard to move, you need to come in and see us so that we can replace that tubing so that it does not affect the sound quality of the hearing aid. The next step is to turn the hearing aid over and look at the spine or the back of the hearing aid. Here's where your microphones are. You're going to use your brush and brush over the microphones to make sure there is no dirt or debris covering the microphones. There is a small filter on the back that does cover the microphones and occasionally can become plugged, and you will need to come in to have us replace that filter. The next thing is how to clean a receiver in the ear or open fit hearing aid. For this type of hearing aid, you actually will not be using the wax loop, but you will be using some type of wax trap or wax guard. The first thing you're going to do when you take the hearing aid out is, of course, open the battery door. The next thing you're going to do is look at the end of the hearing aid where the plastic dome is. You're going to use your brush to brush across the end to get any wax that is stuck on the end off. And again, you don't have to worry about being too gentle, it is quite durable. You can also use that same brush to brush across the back across the microphones so that there's not any dirt or debris covering it to prevent the hearing aid from picking up sound. The next step is to simply remove the dome by gently pulling it off of the hearing aid. Underneath, there should be some sort of wax filter or wax trap, and you will have received replacements with your hearing aid. This particular hearing aid uses this type of wax trap. What you're going to do is remove the blue tool, turn the dial so you have a new wax trap, insert it so that you can take the wax trap out of the package. The next step is to remove the old one from the hearing aid. You are going to use the other end of the tool, insert it into the end of the receiver, and gently pull the old wax trap out. You flip the tool around and put a new wax trap in. Once that is done, you can take the dome and put it back over the end of the hearing aid. As with all hearing aids, when you are not using them, we do ask that you put them in a dry aid kit or a dehumidifier to make sure no moisture corrodes the circuitry.